Hi, my name is Stefano. I'm currently a director of product research at Steuben Foods, which is a premier low-acid aseptic co-manufacturing in eastern U.S. Um, Most things that I do, or things that I do there, is right now doing product research in raw materials, as well as help new small companies come up with a product that they can take it to the market and be successful. Um, Describe in words. I that's a hard one for me. I did biology in my background, and I sort of stumbled upon food science by accident when I did undergraduate research with my PI at Virginia Tech. Just he, I don't even know how I met him, but I happened to come across him, and he had a work for me, and kind of opened my eyes to what food science was, which was a lot of grilling and a lot of fun. And until then, I didn't know what it was. It was just happened to be an accident, and I loved that experience so much. And research was part of it, but fun, I think, drove me into food science. And I did my master's and PhD with him, looking at improving nutritional quality of tilapia through diet modifications. Um, Food science to me is taking a mystery that you find in different industries like chemistry, biochemistry, microbiology, etc., and putting that into a sensible word where a consumer can understand it and see in a real world. Yeah, when you pick up a pizza, frozen pizza, there was a lot of science that went in behind that, but the food scientists sort of make that into reality versus just taking a flash freezing or molecular level of what happens in water structures, what happens when you bake it, right? So again, I got into food science completely by accident. But it's so much fun. I think it's really a unique industry. It's a small industry, surprisingly, but it's quite unique in the sense that you take all this background science and you're putting into one application. So there's tons that you can do. There's always things that I'm constantly learning about it. That's always a surprise. So again, I work for Steuben Foods, which is a low-acid aseptic processing plant. And there, what I do is I bring in customers and help them take their prototypes or concepts into a realization. So when they say we want to do an oat milk with X, Y, Z factors, sort of take that concept that's in their head and show them, hey, this is what it's going to taste like, this is what it's going to look like. That's one part of it. Another part is I do also ingredient research. So we also bring in raw materials such as oats, almonds, and etc., and we extract that into a liquid form. So there, I do a lot of research on what happens with the bioactive ingredients, or what happens when you take a raw material and process through the plant. So in that sense, I really do everything from dairy science, which is what plant-based milk is really founded upon, the concept of dairy science. A lot of that applies to plant-based milks. I also do a lot of chemistry. I try to characterize a lot of chemical compounds that exist in foods. I also do microbiology as low-acid aseptic. You sort of have to have a background understanding of what micro is to understand what's happening in your food. And again, my background is chemical analysis, so we do a lot of analysis as well. So, looking at food science, it's interesting because when I was studying, I heard a lot about a cyclization of ingredients or trends. So back in the days, bad or saturated fat, trans fat, those things were very bad. Now I see that the sugars are being talked about a lot, and that seems to be about a 10-year cycle. So you'll see a lot of new cool technologies that's coming up. Definitely culture media is another one that's really gonna be hot. I think that will really transform the way food science and food scientists think of foods. But also, I see these cyclical trends where maybe we'll just start talking about sugar or fats that's going to be bad or good for you, and how we can bring it back to the food science or the product that we eat. One advice that I'll give it to students: have fun. I think that's how I got into it. You have to have fun. There's science in itself is quite interesting. You can never know. Don't be frustrated that you're stuck somewhere where you don't understand the science behind it. That's part of the fun. So learn to enjoy it. Learn to try new things. Don't be afraid. I'm not a big fan of someone saying we've done that before. It's okay. Try it again. Maybe you'll find something new.